Something big just broke from inside the walls of Starbucks. The coffee giant has announced it's laying off hundreds of corporate employees around the globe. But hold on, this story is much bigger than job cuts. Because Starbucks isn't just serving you coffee, it's serving you a carefully crafted illusion. Think about it, the cozy lighting, the indie music, the barista writing your name on the cup, often wrong, like it's some quirky ritual. None of this is accidental. Every detail is meticulously designed to make you feel something. Not just comfort, but connection, like you're part of something meaningful. But behind that $7 latte you cradle each morning like a tiny piece of joy, there's a cold, calculated business strategy at work. That drink you're sipping, it costs Starbucks just over $1 to make. 65 cents of coffee, 30 cents of milk, maybe 15 cents for that dash of syrup. The rest? You're paying for rent, brand image, and executive bonuses, all while thinking it's self-care in a cup. And here's the real trick. It doesn't even feel like $7. Your brain reads $6.95 and says, hey, it's just six something. It's the same reason stores price used cars at $9,999 instead of $10,000. We know the game, yet it still works. Every single time. Now let's look inside that comforting cup. Take the vanilla frappuccino, for example. Sounds light, sweet, harmless, right? Wrong. It contains 68 grams of sugar. That's more than 2 full Snickers bars. 16 sugar cubes. The American Heart Association says women should have no more than 25 grams a day. For men, 36 grams. One drink blows past that, and we don't even flinch. Why? Because they don't call it dessert. They call it coffee, functional, normal, necessary. But here's the twist. Most of these drinks have just one small shot of espresso. The rest is sugar, syrup, cream, whipped topping, and caramel drizzle. You're not getting an energy boost. You're getting a sugar tsunami with a whisper of caffeine. And what happens next? A crash, fast. Studies show nearly half the people who drink these sugary coffees actually feel more exhausted just 3 hours later than before they even drank it. That productivity jolt you thought you were buying, gone. But hey, it tastes amazing, right? And that's exactly the trap. Starbucks has turned dessert into a lifestyle, charged a premium for it, and convinced us it's a daily reward. And we keep buying it because it feels good. But now that you know the truth, does it still feel good? So there you are, sipping what feels like a small reward. Your wallet's lighter, your energy's crashing, and without even realizing it, you're already thinking about your next fix. But what if I told you the most dangerous part of that drink isn't what's in it, it's what's holding it? Let's talk about that iconic white paper cup, the one with the famous green mermaid. It looks recyclable. It feels recyclable. But here's the truth most people never hear. It's not. Every year, Starbucks hands out over 4 billion of those cups. That's enough to wrap around the entire planet 11 times, and most of them, they end up in landfills. Why? Because each cup is lined with a thin plastic coating to stop leaks, and that tiny layer makes it nearly impossible to recycle in standard facilities. Less than 1% of those cups are ever truly recycled. The rest take decades, up to 20 years, just to break down. And Starbucks, they know. But instead of replacing the cup or solving the problem, they offer you a 10-cent discount if you bring your own. 10 cents on a $7 drink. That's like tossing a coin into a wishing well and calling it a solution. Now here's the real kicker. How many people actually bring a reusable cup? Just 1.6% of customers. That's it. The rest of us? We're tossing mountains of cups every single day while sipping our caramel macchiatos and convincing ourselves it's harmless. Multiply that waste by the millions of Starbucks customers around the world, and what you get isn't just a litter problem, it's a planet-sized crisis. But it gets buried under cheerful signs and seasonal drinks. Like when you see that bright green message, our goal is to reduce waste by 30% by 2030. Sounds hopeful, right? But cup production is actually growing by 5% every year. Do the math. The promise and the reality don't match. That's what Starbucks does best. They package indulgence as necessity, sell dessert disguised as coffee, and turn sustainability into a marketing performance. Meanwhile, your wallet's bleeding and the earth is groaning under billions of cups. And just when you think the illusion is complete, they pull you deeper with something they call loyalty. Now here's where it gets clever and a little dark. You think loyalty means being rewarded for being a good customer. You spend, you earn, you get something back. Seems fair, right? Wrong. This isn't a reward system. It's a behavioral experiment dressed up with whipped cream and mobile points. Let's look closer. That free drink you used to get after 12 visits? Gone. Now you need 25 stars just for a basic coffee. Want something fancier? That'll cost you up to 200 stars. And how do you earn those stars? Slowly, one or two at a time. Unless you spend more, buy select items, or complete hidden challenges inside the app. The average customer now spends $35 or more just to earn a free drink that might be worth $4. And the kicker? This loyalty system has been enhanced 3 times in the past 5 years. Each upgrade, it shrinks the rewards and raises the bar. But here comes the genius and the trap. And here's where the trap tightens. You see, people don't just chase coffee at Starbucks anymore. They chase stars, not the kind in the sky, but digital points that feel like progress, like you're winning something. But what you're really caught in is Starbucks' most brilliant illusion yet: gamification. Every time you tap the app, place a mobile order, or get a little personalized notification, it's not a reward. It's a training tool. You're not being thanked for your loyalty. You're being conditioned to come back. You'll get a ping on Monday morning. Earn 70 bonus stars when you visit 5 times this week. Translation: spend $35 to get $2.80 in perks. And yet, people do it. Because now it's not about the coffee. It's about completing a mission, unlocking a badge, hitting a goal. It's Starbucks turned into a slot machine, and you're pulling the lever. It's the same psychological play casinos use: bright lights, cheerful sounds, unpredictable rewards. Not to make you win, but to keep you playing. Here's what that illusion does. Starbucks Rewards members spend 125% more than non-members. They visit 40% more often. They upgrade to larger sizes, even when they don't want to. Why? Because the app tells them you're only 10 stars away from your next reward. Just one more visit, just 2 more pumps of flavor. It's not coffee anymore. It's dopamine in disguise. But the chase doesn't stop there. Let's talk about the wait. Remember when drive-through meant fast? In 2010, you'd wait about 4 minutes for a coffee. In 2023, that wait time doubled. Now over 8 minutes and 12 seconds on average. What happened? You might think mobile ordering would help. Think again. Now every store is battling 3 streams of chaos: people walking in, people in the drive-thru, and a flood of mobile orders. Some stores get more than 120 mobile orders during morning rush hour alone. That's on top of the cars circling the building and customers filling the lobby. And here's the kicker. The system isn't first come, first served anymore. If you're in the drive-thru and someone with gold status places a mobile order while sitting in their car behind you, their drink might be made before yours, even if you've been waiting 5 minutes longer. It's called order prioritization, and it doesn't reward patience. It rewards app usage, engagement, loyalty. It turns morning coffee into rush hour warfare. Baristas call it the 3-line meltdown. 3 queues, 2 blenders, 1 espresso machine, 0 sanity. Stores were never built to handle this chaos. But the mobile app increased sales by 30%, so corporate's not going to fix it. Why would they? And here's something wild. Once you've stood in line for 3 minutes, 95% of customers will wait, no matter how long it takes. That's called the queue commitment threshold. Starbucks knows it. So longer waits = more orders = more profit. You suffer, they win. And while you wait, they keep your attention locked with seasonal hype. Enter the pumpkin spice latte, Starbucks' nuclear weapon of marketing. First launched in 2003, this one drink now brings in over $500 million every year. And here's a twist. Until 2015, it didn't even have real pumpkin in it, just spices and flavored syrup. And still, people lined up for it like it was some sacred ritual. Because that's what Starbucks has mastered. Not coffee, not community, but craving. Now let's talk about what really makes Starbucks run. And it all begins with 2 words: artificial scarcity. Why is the pumpkin spice latte only around for 3 months a year? It's not because of supply chains or tradition. It's because Starbucks wants you to panic buy. They limit the season on purpose. And that time pressure, it lights a fire in our brains. It's the same psychological trick that had people fighting over toilet paper in 2020. If something's rare, we want it more. We crave it. During PSL season, Starbucks sales don't just rise. They explode by 37%. People drive for hours to find one. Some even pay up to $60 for a bottle of black market syrup. Not because it's better, but because it's limited. It's not just a drink anymore. It's a seasonal identity, a ritual wrapped in cinnamon, nutmeg, and exclusivity. And here's the kicker. In blind taste tests, the same drink was rated 24% higher just because it was served in a Starbucks cup. That's not flavor. That's branding. That's emotional manipulation. You're not sipping a latte. You're buying a feeling. So there you are. You paid your $7, earned a few stars, waited twice as long in line, and now you're finally holding your overpriced treat. But let's zoom out for a second. Let's look behind that shiny counter. Because while you're sipping your caramel swirled identity, the person who made it for you, they're struggling. The average Starbucks barista earns just $13 an hour, while the company pulls in more than $3.3 billion in yearly profit. A single store can make up to $700,000 a year. But the full-time barista, they're lucky to bring home $27,000 before taxes if they get full-time hours, and that's a big if. To qualify for healthcare and benefits, you need to work at least 20 hours a week. But guess what? Some stores quietly schedule baristas for 19.5 hours, just under the limit. Is that a coincidence? You decide. Now throw in the chaos, shift changes with less than 24 hours notice, schedules that change every week, and customers who treat a missing swirl of whipped cream like a crime. What you get is a burnout machine. In some stores, 100% of the staff quits and gets replaced every year. That's not turnover. That's total collapse. And these overworked, underpaid workers are expected to juggle walk-ins, drive-thrus, mobile orders, and seasonal insanity, sometimes making 8 drinks a minute during rush. But let's talk about something lighter, like misspelled names. You've seen it. Jessica becomes Jessica. Mike turns into Mike. It's easy to laugh it off, but did you ever wonder if it's really a mistake? According to leaked training materials, some baristas were actually encouraged to intentionally misspell names, just to get customers to post the cup online. That's right, it's not personalization. It's free social media marketing. You laugh, you post, Starbucks wins. And while we're talking about what's really in your drink, here's a fact that's going to stay with you. Until 2012, your strawberry frappuccino, it got its red color from crushed bugs. Yes, actual insects. It's called cochineal extract, a red dye made by drying, grinding, and processing tiny beetles into a substance called carmine. It's FDA approved, totally legal, and widely used in the food industry. But let's be honest, no one wants to start their day by sipping a strawberry milkshake made with bugs. When customers found out, the backlash was huge. And that's the only reason Starbucks finally pulled it from their drinks. But if they hadn't been caught, you'd probably still be drinking beetle lattes without even knowing. So here's how it played out. After public outrage over the crushed bugs in your drink, Starbucks finally promised to make the switch from insect dye to lycopene, a tomato-based coloring. But it didn't happen because they cared. It happened because we found out. And that tells you everything you need to know about what's in your cup and how little they actually tell you. Now let's talk about what you're really drinking. You think ordering almond milk makes your latte healthy? Think again. Most commercial almond milk is nothing more than water, sugar, and additives. Real almonds? Maybe 2% if you're lucky. That's not health. That's marketing. It's like calling a puddle a lake just because someone threw in a pebble. Want to switch to oat milk instead? Sure. Just be ready to pay an extra 75 cents. And here's the joke. Oat milk is actually cheaper to produce than cow's milk. But Starbucks knows they can charge more. That tiny surcharge rakes in over $200 million a year. Not because it's better, not because it costs more, but because they can. Let's move to the food menu. Those plant-based breakfast sandwiches, the ones with fake sausage and a just as fake egg, they have 30 fewer calories than the regular version, but come loaded with 15 more unpronounceable ingredients. What you're getting isn't nutrition. It's a public relations stunt with a vegan sticker slapped on it. Even drinks labeled light or skinny. They're full of artificial sweeteners, the kind that confuse your metabolism and make your cravings worse. They taste sweet, but they leave your body hungrier. That's not health. That's a hunger trap. And if you think ordering decaf means no caffeine, surprise again. A grande 16 ounces decaf can still pack up to 30 milligrams of caffeine. That's nearly half a can of Coke. Drink 2 or 3 decafs, and you're back where you started. Jittery, addicted, and confused. But here's where it gets darker. Caffeine dependency isn't just real. At Starbucks, it's engineered. Their dark roasts contain 22% more caffeine than many competing brands. Why? Because they know you're tired. They want you to be wired and then crashing, so you come back again and again.